So today I'm going to replace this piece. As you can see, if I lift the door, the top of that bushing is worn out. I purchased this part online to replace it. When I purchased it, it was zinc plated, which is not going to stand up to much use, so I got this universal bonding primer which will bond to a zinc plated surface, and I base coated and top coated it with a clear coat. I also taped off the rollers while I did it. So I've opened the window. I'm going to try to pop off this piece. Don't want to scratch the car. Should just snap out. So I was able to get the piece of molding off, and as you can see, the bottom, you can just prise out, there's a clip here, but the top, you've got a push pin there, and this one actually broke off when I pulled it out, so I'm going to have to order a new one. So you can see there's just two holes that pops into, and here's where that bottom clips on. Pulled off these two little rubber washers. Make sure you keep those so you can put them back on to this location so that it seals the water from getting in your car. So I'm going to have to order a new one of these clips. Next, I am removing these two 10mm bolts. Next, I'm removing these three 12mm bolts. I've got these two screws out. When you're doing this, you have to remember that that hinge is what's holding up your door. So I've just made a makeshift little jack there to hold the door up while I pull this off. You can see all three of the bolts are off now, so I should be able to slide this hinge out. So I popped the window open to make this a little easier, and now you should be able to just slide this hinge right out. You can see this one, it's got all kinds of rust. I tried lubricating it, but it's this bushing at the top that's really not great. So I'm just spraying a little bit of lithium grease in here just to make sure these holes are lubricated and not going to corrode. And while I'm at it, just squirt some on there. I've applied some white lithium grease to these rollers just to make sure it's nice and well lubricated. Now we're going to try not to get it all over the car, and these slide right into the track, and we'll bolt it back up. Since this cable assembly is under some tension, to get it lined up, I put a screwdriver through this one so I could get that back screw in first. So I have the 3 bolts through the hinge into the door, and the 2 bolts through the cable assembly there. So if we test the door now, it shouldn't hit on this plate anymore. It should just close without making any kind of thump. Only the left side on my van was rusty like this. The other one actually looks very nice. Turning like this does not feel good. I also noticed these rollers are pretty heavily corroded. This one barely turns at all. Feels terrible. This one a little bit grinds. This one, which is actually a true ball bearing, is just fine. I don't know if the damage to these was because it was hanging on the door like this, so you got extra pressure. But either way, this also needed replaced. So I was able to find these replacement clips online. They simply slide, snap into place. So now to install this piece, you just attach the 2 push pins and the clip at the bottom into these. That's it.